What's keeping me from seeing them? Out of nowhere, once my ex, they saw that I was keeping the commandments as well, and I think that kind of made them scary, because they said that, well, you're in a cult, we don't believe that kind of way, those kind of things like that. And ever since then, her family, they shut off all kind of contact, and I haven't been able to see them since. Yes, sir. I grew up in the Maryland, D.C. area, and as a child, both my parents, they was Christian, and I used to go to church every Sunday as a child growing up, and that was pretty much our background.
Did you keep the faith after you left? You went off to college and everything. Did you keep on with the faith and with your devout Christian? I mean, how was your?
Yes, sir. I kept in the faith, but I just knew some things weren't right, and some things weren't working how I thought it should, how they say the word works. So after then, that's when I started doing more research.
Can you give me an example of some things that you just thought that was it just based on your feelings or
no, it was just just leave it to God, kind of stuff, like just pray one time, and you'll be fine. And so I was like, man, this ain't right. And I was reading things in scripture, like with that lady who kept approaching that judge, and she kept coming back and forth. And I was like, hold up, well, I don't just pray one time. So my family was teaching me those kind of things.
So that was a contradiction from what you read, from what you were hearing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
So what school did you? I mean, now you went off to college. What college did you go to? Can you tell us about your college experience and everything?
Yes, sir. I went to the University of North Carolina, and I spent most of my years there, and graduated there. Communications and African American history.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you play sports?
Yes, sir. I played football.
Okay. And what was your position?
I played DN and outside linebacker. Okay. Rushing the passer. Okay. Yes, sir.
So now, when you went, I'm assuming you went to a great school. I went to San Diego State, so I didn't have the luxury of going to a school like yours.
Yes, sir.
But there's a lot of guys that goes to the league. Did you end up going to playing pro football when you were done with
Yes, sir. When I graduated, I was recruited by a lot of NFL teams, but the year that I graduated was the lockout. So a Canadian team had offered me a lot of money to come up and play with them. Okay. So I took that opportunity and went up north.
Okay. And how many years did you play with them?
3 years.
3 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, even in your playing in the pros, how important was your faith at that time? Did you have a relationship with Jesus Christ? Did you have any faith with him?
Yes, sir. It was crucial because there's times as an athlete, there's tough times sometimes, and you always got to have a foundation of Yahshua. You got to have some kind of foundation. So I did what I thought was right then, as far as the faith.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, so when did you discover Pastor Dow? How long ago did you discover him? What drew you to him?
Yes, sir.
And how did you get into the faith eventually?
It was when 2014, when I was in North Carolina, and I was doing a lot of research, trying to, because I seen some things was like Jesus isn't real and stuff like that. So I was like, come on. So I started doing more research, and I saw that he was black. He was a black man. So I was like, hold up. My whole life I've been seeing a white Jesus. So I was like, this book is telling me he's black, feet burnt like a brass in a furnace. So after that, I started doing more research, and I saw one of the videos of Pastor Dow popped up. Why am I a Christian? Why I'm not a Christian? And from then on, I just started listening to everything that he said, and I backtracked and looked at what he was saying according to the word, and it was adding up, and it was matching. So that just blew my mind. Yes, sir.
Did you hear anything negative about the ministry? And if you did hear anything negative, how did that impact you looking at Straightway or being involved?
Yes, sir. I saw a few cult videos, and but after I did my due diligence, I saw that it was a lot of bullshit. Really, it was bullshit because everything he said was in the Word, and you can't negate it.
So now that you've been in here now, from your experience being part of Straightway, and this is your first feast, or your
Yes, sir.
first time up here, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
how do you explain? I know you're going to be leaving, but just how do you explain your experience so far, being here live, as opposed, I know you've been watching it, as opposed to your experience when you was in the Christian faith?
It's off the chain. It's the fellowship. The people are just so genuine and so real, and you can tell it's just not a fake little Christian Sunday one time. Everybody communicates and stays in contact with each other. It's kind of like that locker room brotherhood, man, with the brothers and stuff like that, and we build each other up, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing, brother. It's been amazing.
You play ball. Now I know, being an athlete myself.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you, before Straightway, did you ever experience? What was the highest level of brotherhood that you ever experienced? Was it being in the Christian church? Was it being at home or being on a football team? What was the highest level before Straightway? I just want to know.
It was a football. Football, yes, sir. It was a lot of camaraderie, a lot of brotherhood there, locker room stuff.
Yeah, spend a lot of time with each other.
All the time, yes, sir. Sweat, blood, and tears, yes, sir.
So now that you experience Straightway, would you say that is at the same level? Or is it how would you compare Straightway now with your experience playing all those years of football and the brotherhood?
Man, it tops football because it's spiritual. It's not just a brotherhood. It's even more top on of that. So it's even better than that.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So now everyone that's come into this stuff, it seems like it's a common thing that they experience some type of form. Now, I don't know if it's changed. Maybe it's different with you. Have you experienced any type of persecution from natural family, friends, being a part of this ministry or practicing the commandments, keeping the commandments?
Yes, sir. A lot of my family members would think I'm crazy or I don't know what I'm talking about, and there's been some times where I know my son had to play a few games on Shabbat, and my mom would ask me, and she'd say, we supported you. Why can't you, come and support your son? And I said, I believe in Yahshua over my mother, father, son, anybody else. So I respect the Shabbat more than a Shabbat, a Saturday game,
So being an athlete, you played football, this is something that you grew up doing. Now your son is following your footstep, and now he's playing on Saturday or on the Shabbat, and you still don't go to the games.
As of yet, yeah, I haven't been to any games. Like he hasn't been playing lately. So
okay,
yes,
he hasn't been playing?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Have you explained that? You have a conversation with him?
Oh, we talk all the time. We read Luke 4:16, and I asked him. I say, Ty, when are we supposed to go and have rest? He said it says here Jesus went and he spoke on the Shabbat. And that's what we do. And I teach him that, and I teach him a lot of other things as well in the Word. Okay. Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to share? Just other type of persecution that you may have experienced? Practice this lifestyle of keeping the commandments.
Man, it's a lot of friends, who were Christians who I thought that were my friends, and after they saw that I no longer hang out with them on weekends and stuff like that, and I keep the Shabbat, they kind of distanced themselves.
Have they not want to learn about where you're coming from so they can be a part of it? Or,
not at all.
They're Christians, right? So they're Bible-believing Christians, right? Do they not want to, learn how to love Jesus? Or
no, sir. It's been pretty tough. They have a rejection spirit, and they reject anything that I would tell them, and they say, "Man, you crazy," and they just distance themselves.
So now you've met Pastor Dow in person, right?
Yes, sir.
You had some one-on-one time. So what is it like meeting the man in person? Now, you saw him on screen, most of them, YouTube and on the screen and everything. But now meeting the man in person, tell me what that experience is like. Is it everything you thought it would be? Is it less?
Man, 2 years ago, I met Pastor the first time at the debate in Fairfax, Virginia.
Okay.
And when I met him there, I talked to him for a while, and he was just a a cool, laid back dude, man. I thought he was something else, but he was so super cool, man. And then just this second time for Tabernacles, man, we was cool. We had brotherhood. We all just, chilled and relaxed, man. And he's nothing like what, people say he is, like the cult, and he's this and that. Totally different, man.
Now, this is my last question here. Last night, Pastor Dow, how he does this every Shabbat, where
Yes,
he sits
sir.
at the table and he start talking to the next generation.
Yes, sir.
Sharing his dreams and just, still preaching, still.
Yes, sir.
That I noticed you was very, honed in what he was saying.
Yes, sir.
Just tell me what that was like being at that table and just listen to Pastor Dow share his heart about the future.
It's uncut. It's not like how you see on the videos. He really spill out his heart, and he keeps it super 100. He keeps it real with you. And as a man, I can respect that, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate him for that. And it's just something I can't explain. He's a Superman of God, Superman of Yah.
Hallelujah.
Yes, sir.
So since you've been following this ministry, right?
Yes,
how
sir.
would you say that this has impacted your life as a just personally? How has this impacted you as a man? Being a part of this ministry, how has that impacted you personally?
Personally, I feel more comfortable as a man knowing who I am, and where I come from all my studies and research, and from what Pastor teaches us as well. And my life has just been much better, man. I have had more peace, keeping the Shabbat and keeping the commandments and doing the best I can as a man of Yah. And it's helped me out a lot.
Do you ever think about doing community? Pastor always talks about coming into community. Have you ever thought about maybe considering that and down the road for yourself?
Yes, sir, absolutely. As of now, up in Straightway, Maryland, we now we talk about those things and taking steps, going to the next level and purchasing land and being a close knit community and basically learning everything from Pastor on how to run a proper community.
What was it about the stuff that you saw from my YouTube that, some of the things that inspired you from that stuff? I remember you were just, when we first was talking.
Yes, sir.
You could share that.
Yes, sir, absolutely. I could relate a whole lot to what you was going through, with your children and with your wife, because I had a similar situation with my second child. And I've been standing now for 2 years, and I haven't seen my child, heard from him or anything. And I'm just going to keep standing and keep the commandments and keep serving Yah.
So you haven't even seen him even being born or anything like that?
Yes, sir. I saw him after he was born. The first day I was there, and I've seen him after that. I have seen him after that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But not now.
Not the past 2 years.
2 years. Wow.
And he's 3 years old now. I'm going on 4. Yes, sir.
And what is required for you to be able to see him? What's keeping you from seeing him?
What's keeping me from seeing him? Out of nowhere, once my ex, they saw that I was keeping the commandments as well, and I think that kind of made them scary, because they said that, well, you're in a cult. We don't believe that kind of way. Those kind of things like that. And ever since then, her family, they shut off all kind of contact, and I haven't been able to see him since.
And I had spoken with Dr. Murray. From reading and from what he's saying, biblical marriage is just biblical marriage. Whether the man makes the decision to have one wife or two wives, it's holy marriage.